Once upon a time, in a small village nestled at the foot of a towering mountain, there lived a young man known throughout the village for his laziness. While others toiled in the fields, workshops, and markets, dedicating themselves to the hard work of daily life, this young man spent his days lying under a great tree, napping and daydreaming about an easier life. One day, a wise monk wandered into the village, seeking alms as he traveled. Every time he passed the village square, he noticed the young man resting under the same tree, day after day, oblivious to the bustle of the world around him. Intrigued, the monk decided to approach the young man. "Why do you lie here all the time, young man? Why don't you work in the fields like the others?" The monk asked gently. The young man, barely opening his eyes, shrugged. "Oh, let me sleep. Working in the fields is hard. I can't do that." The monk smiled knowingly. "Do you want to become rich?" he asked. At this, the young man sat up, his eyes now fully open, filled with curiosity. "Yes, of course. Who wouldn't want to be rich? Can you make me rich?" The monk nodded and pointed to the distant mountain. "Behind that mountain, there is a cave that holds a precious diamond. If you can find it, you will be rich forever." The young man's heart raced with excitement, but almost immediately, doubt set in. "But it's difficult to climb the mountain," he muttered hesitantly. The monk looked at him with a calm gaze. "If you are not willing to make the effort, then let it be." He began to walk away, but the young man, desperate not to lose this opportunity, jumped to his feet. "Wait!" he called after the monk. "I will go. But are you telling the truth?" The monk smiled kindly. "Yes, I am. But remember, the cave is on the other side of the mountain, and the journey will not be easy." The young man, now fired up by the promise of immense wealth, set off on his journey. As he began climbing the mountain, the path grew steeper and more treacherous with every step. His legs ached, his lungs burned, and exhaustion quickly overwhelmed him. But the thought of the diamond and the cool mountain breeze urged him forward. After what felt like an eternity of struggle, he finally reached the summit. He paused, looking out over the breathtaking view below. In that moment, he felt a surge of pride and accomplishment, something he had never felt before. He had climbed the mountain, but his journey was not over. He still had to descend and reach the cave. The descent was even more challenging than the climb. The rocky path was slippery, and he stumbled many times, scraping his hands and knees. Yet, despite the hardship, he pressed on, driven by the thought of the precious diamond awaiting him. At long last, he arrived at the cave. Heart pounding, he entered, expecting to find the dazzling treasure. But the cave was empty. He searched every corner, over and over again, but there was no diamond. Disappointment crashed over him like a wave. Why had the monk deceived him? Disheartened and frustrated, he knew he had no choice but to return home. But now, the thought of climbing back over the mountain seemed impossible. He considered giving up, staying by the cave, and resigning himself to a life of solitude. Yet deep down, he knew he couldn't survive there for long. With great difficulty, he gathered his remaining strength and began the arduous journey back. Every step was more painful than the last, but after much struggle, he finally made it back to the village. Tired and angry, he sought out the monk, determined to confront him. "Why did you lie to me?" he demanded. "There was no diamond in the cave." The monk smiled softly, his eyes twinkling with wisdom. "But I think you have found it," he said. The young man was confused. "What do you mean? There was no diamond." The monk's smile deepened. "My dear friend, you have found the true diamond, the diamond of diligence. Before your journey, you were too lazy to even work in the fields. But now, look at what you've accomplished. You have climbed a mountain, pushed through hardship, and returned stronger than before. You have discovered within yourself the ability to persevere. That is the true treasure." The young man's eyes widened in realization. The monk was right. He had always possessed the potential for greatness, but his laziness had kept him from it. Now, after his journey, he had learned the value of hard work and perseverance. He had found the diamond of diligence, the most precious treasure of all. From that day forward, the young man worked with dedication and purpose. He no longer lay idly under the tree, dreaming of an easy life. Instead, he toiled in the fields, knowing that with diligence and effort, he could achieve anything. This story serves as a profound reminder for all of us. In our lives, we often encounter laziness and procrastination. They seem like small obstacles, but they hold us back from realizing our true potential. The story beautifully illustrates the reasons behind this laziness and how we can overcome it. 1. Lack of motivation. The primary cause of laziness is a lack of motivation. When we have no clear goal or purpose, we become aimless and demotivated. In the story, the young man was initially lazy because he had no reason to work. But when the monk told him about the diamond, his mindset shifted. He now had something to strive for. In our own lives, when we set meaningful goals, our laziness begins to fade. A strong desire to achieve can transform our attitudes and drive us to take action. 2. The danger of easy alternatives. Laziness often thrives when we are too comfortable. The young man was content in his village because food and shelter were easily available. He had no need to push himself. But when he ventured beyond the mountain, he realized that survival required effort. This realization forced him to act. Similarly, in life, when we have easy alternatives, we often fail to push ourselves to our limits. By placing ourselves in situations where success requires effort, we eliminate laziness and fuel our determination. 3. Discovering our hidden abilities. Laziness also stems from underestimating our own abilities. The young man didn't believe he could climb the mountain. But once he accomplished it, he realized his potential. This shows that within each of us lies untapped capability. Often, laziness blinds us to our true power. But when we challenge ourselves, we uncover strengths we didn't know we had. The moral of this story is clear. Diligence is the key to unlocking our potential. It is the steady, consistent effort we put into our tasks, even when they are difficult or tiresome. Diligence is what turns dreams into reality, what turns potential into success. We must remember that laziness is not something to accept or tolerate. It is a challenge to overcome, a hurdle to leap over. By embracing diligence, setting ambitious goals, and pushing ourselves beyond our comfort zones, we can achieve anything. So, let us rise above laziness. Harness the hidden potential within us. Embark on the journey towards a fulfilling and successful life, knowing that the true diamond is not something we find outside. It is the unwavering determination and hard work that already exists within us. The diamond of diligence is yours to claim. All you need to do is start climbing. If you liked the video, then please like the video and subscribe our channel for these kind of motivational content. Thank you.